And so Reuben was trying to diffuse the situation. This is the story of Joseph, who had the coat of many colors. You've heard about Joseph, and about the plot that was made upon his life as his brothers saw him coming across the valley, and they said, let's kill him. And they devised this plot that they would kill him, and then they would take an animal and kill it, and then they'd mingle the blood, or put the blood of the animal on the coat of many colors, and take that to Jacob and say, do you recognize this coat? And then when he realized it was his son's, he said, well, he must have gotten killed by a wild animal of some sort. So that was the plan. But evidently, Reuben wasn't there when this plan was being hatched. And when he heard of it, and he realized that his brothers were in this state of seething, that he diffused in the aspect of, he said, I tell you what, let's do this. Instead of just murdering him, why don't we just throw him in a pit and leave him there? And a worse death, if anything, because there was no water down there. He would have starved to death, and he would have died of thirst. Horrible, horrible death. But that's what they did. They took Joseph, they threw him in this pit, and then the scripture says, and then they went off a little ways, and they had lunch. And they were eating and enjoying this meal, knowing that what they had just done to their brother. Well, Reuben, secretly in his mind, was thinking, he says, later I'll go back and I'll deliver him out of the pit. And so you say, well, okay, Reuben was the best of the gang. But fast forward, and you'll find that Reuben was not included as one of the tribes because he had committed a grave sin later on. Remember, these are the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. God's mercy and compassion is just unbelievable. But, so now Joseph is in this pit. I don't know if you ever heard the expression about foxhole conversions. Basically, a foxhole conversion is somebody who's in a hole that has been dug, called trench warfare, where the soldiers have dug these holes so that they wouldn't get shot. Basically, a place to hide from the bullets, but not necessarily a place to hide from the hand grenades. It's a very dangerous and precarious situation. There have been many, many soldiers that have cried out to God in these times, said, God, if you'll deliver me from this foxhole, I will serve you all of my life. And transformation. Matter of fact, my pastor growing up back at the Sunrise Christian Church in Kentucky was a person who made that statement in a foxhole. And he honored that. And he became a pastor. And he was my pastor. And he told us about this. So here is Joseph, this young man who's just had a life-altering experience. I mean, from 1 second to the next, his whole life has changed when he finds out that his brothers hate him so much and they're going to kill him. And now he's down in that hole, fearing for his life and trying to process all of this. I think a lot of people can identify with this predicament. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.